John Doe, number 9. My name is Ashley George, and I'm speaking on behalf of my loved one, Charles Glenn, who was in the New Hampshire juvenile system from 11 to 15 years old. While in YDC, he was subjected to physical, mental, and sexual torture. He spent many months in solitary confinement with nothing but a pair of Fruit of the Loom underwear and a blanket in his cell. If he talked too much, he wasn't allowed to have toilet paper.
Sorry, I'm texting. I wrote this on.
Sometimes his food was withheld, his window was kept open to try and freeze him out, or just flat out beat the crap out of him or raped him. These types of tactics were done on other boys in King Cottage, but more in the East Corridor. I'd like to now read some excerpts from the master complaint that catalogs the types of abuse that children such as Charles sustained while in the juvenile justice system. For instance, various forms of unjustified physical violence, including but not limited to punching with closed fists, slapping, kicking, striking with elbows, striking with knees, choking with hands or forearms, body slamming against hard surfaces, examples, walls, floors, doors, stairs, pool tables, beating victims in restraints, pushing victims downstairs, performing wrestling or martial arts moves on victims, involving forcibly bending and twisting limbs into painful positions. For example, sleeper holds, arm bars, and other jiu-jitsu maneuvers. Exploiting pressure points, intentionally slamming doors on fingers, forcing victims to kneel on rice, forcing or coercing victims to fight one another, depriving injured victims of medical care, various forms of sexual abuse, including but not limited to indecent exposure, groping of other body parts, and similar unwanted touching of sexual nature, digital penetration of, I'm going to leave this out because we have children here. You guys can, you know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to skip to depriving victims of clothing, acts of voyeurism, referring to targeted victims by the use of demeaning and dehumanizing terms. For example, calling targets worthless, losers, pieces of blank, dogs, animals, making racist, sexist, or bigoted remarks. For example, using various racial slurs, calling females blank, blank, or blank, calling males suspected of being gay, blank, intentionally preying on especially vulnerable children. For example, encouraging a suicidal youth to go for it or just do it. Threatening physical or sexual abuse. Plying children with illegal drugs. Forcing or coercing victims to consume urine or garbage. Grooming victims by befriending them or providing privileges only to later betray the victims through acts of sexual abuse or physical violence. Gaslighting victims by denying abuse had ever occurred, or blaming the victim for the abuse, encouraging, forcing, or coercing child victims to do harm to other children or even to other adult staff members. Various forms of excessive restraints and excessive confinement, including but not limited to unjustified use of handcuffs, unjustified use of ankle cuffs, unjustified use of 4-point and 5-point restraints, unjustified use of sedative or psychotropic medications, unjustified use of solitary confinement or isolation, unjustified use of solitary confinement or isolation for excessive periods of time. For example, solitary confinement for consecutive days, weeks, or even months. Solitary confinement or isolation in unsanitary or in unnecessarily harsh conditions. For example, depriving victims of bathroom access, bedding, and or clothing. Deliberate indifference and neglect, including failing to protect children from known risks of harm or from risks of harm that should have been known. For example, failing to protect a child victim from other residents or other adult staff members, despite knowing or having reason to know that the victim is a target for sexual or physical abuse, depriving victims of constitutionally and statutory guaranteed rights, including the right to an adequate education. In 1980, for instance, then Attorney General Thomas Rath told the Associated Press that there is no question that potential exists for the YDC Youth Development Center to be the next Laconia State School in terms of litigation, referring to the appalling neglect and abuse of mentally challenged persons, many of whom were children at Laconia State School in the 1970s and early 80s. In 1983, the Associated Press cites abuse of conditions at YDC. In 1984, the Associated Press cite potential federal investigation into abuse at YDC. In 1990, they cite investigation. From the Manchester Union Leader, August 14, 2019, County Attorney Michael Conlon article cites abuse at YDC. Deputy Attorney Jane Young, her office announced a comprehensive investigation and malfashion and review beginning in 1990. The Union Leader, November 21st, 2000, State Rep Randy Lyman said getting 3 to 4 complaints of abuse a week. 15 to 20 new complaints extremely serious. The Union Leader, April 20th, 2001, Associate Attorney General Ann Larney article cites abuse. Manchester Union Leader, April 8, 2001, State Rep Patricia Dowling, Republican from Derry, Chairman of Family Law Committee, said the abuse investigation results will be in 30 days. Donald Shumway said complete investigation has been turned over to the Attorney General Ann Larney. Manchester Union Leader, January 4, 2001, article cites abuse. Jean Shaheen is in that article. Manchester Union Leader, December 17, 2000. Attorney General Philip McLaughlin article citing abuse at YDC. States it's under investigation. Don't be fooled by the illusion, people. In our state government, people in positions of power knew children were being physically and sexually abused and took no action. For 6 decades, the Attorney General's office and governors have been aware that children were being physically, mentally, and sexually abused while in state custody and have failed to act. It's on us, we the people, to now act. Thank you, Charles Glenn.
Yeah. Good job.
Woo!
Thank you.
So I'm just gonna ask that for Kathy and her family, for Peter, that we can do a moment of silence. He was a huge part of a lot of lives. He was a huge part of.
Microphone.
My voice works. He was a huge part of the lot. I feel like somebody that knew him, maybe Frank, or maybe you, or someone that knew him better than me. But I know Charles. Charles was close to him, and I know that it greatly affected him. If we could just have a moment of silence for him, that would be greatly appreciated for the family. She's going to come up and speak next, and without a doubt, I feel like there's more to the story, and I hope that they get some justice for him. His poster is here. If you guys want to come up and pay some respects, you're more than welcome. Turn it over to Kathy. I do hear he was a very funny person, so. It doesn't hold it.
Yeah, it's working.
It might just be me. Maybe you're gonna speak more in the middle to it.
a bullhorn. Where's that bullhorn?
Can you hear me?
There's no batteries in it.
Why not?
Quincy, come here. You want somebody to take you?
Let's like to thank everybody for being here. My name is Catherine. Yeah. Some of you know me as one of the Noble Nine that was falsely elected almost 2 years ago, October 13th, 2021. I'm here today along with my other family members. My brother Stephen, daughter Madeline, his grandson, and his niece Helen.
That's how loud it's gonna go. I can't get it any louder.
We're here today.
Yeah, it's at its max.
Jesus Christ. Especially now that he unexpectedly passed away. My heart is broken. But I would like to share a few good things about Peter before I read his letter. Peter was a miracle baby. I was 13 when Peter was born, and he immediately became my living doll. I was fascinated with him as he was with me. All through his younger years, I had him in my care, even as a young mother myself. Peter loved and respected me and valued my opinion on many things throughout his troubled life. Peter's downfall was city life and lack of parental guidance. And I don't mean any disrespect to my mother or his father. They did what the best they could do. Once he started getting into trouble and being sent to YDC, his nightmares began, and there was no turning back the clock to when he was that cute little kid that loves to fish. I will now read his story. He sent me 2 letters, and I'm not sure. Just bide with me. I'm going to read them.
September 4th.
Yes, he wrote this September 4th, just a little over a month ago. My life and memories of YDC, the Youth Development Center. Welcome Peter E. Gibbs Jr. to YDC. You rotten little punk, troublemaker brat. And then that was followed with an open hand slap. Angry words that spewed from the staff. I don't know how to shadow mystically. Decide. Those words hurt me far worse, like my hand held over fire. My young child body, my face, baby bloody, my face, big. body bloody, black and blue. I was tortured, abused, beaten, and yes, even raped. Throughout the years after YDC, my head was hung low, trying to disguise the tears that flowed for years from my eyes. Many times they would say, Gibbs, you will regret the day you were born. I could still hear the YDC staff yelling with such hate and vicious scorn. My will, my brain, and body broken, even when I was released. Because of what happened to me at YDC. I don't know why, but
Year after year.
year after year, I would return to hell. YDC, wounded and damaged. I carry such an awesome load. Just a child. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Such an innocent, fragile age. Yet, for me, the beginning of my life and my book was a torn page. My life would be haunted, racked with memories of pain and woe. But now, and as far back to YDC, my thoughts always go. I saw love as just another word. It made me believe I could not be cured. The bad memories haunt my life, my world. Remembering the rape, the beating, the torture, no hugs, no tender words, no gentle or grateful words or praise. As my thoughts go back 47 years. I remember what happened then. Hiding under. Forgive me, Mom, Dad, my family, my children, my friends, and my crime victim for the rage I had inside. But now I can tell my story now before I die. All these years
My soul.
with my soul battered, smashed, and torn to the bone. I feel there's no way the state of New Hampshire can ever atone. How can I love when I've suffered such perversion, such hate? From then to now, I've always thought hell is my only fate. All the pain and suffering held inside leaves me so angry and even confused. I try to forget the years of what happened to me at YDC and all the years I was abused. Please, if you have a child, if you hear a child crying tonight as a victim of abuse, as a child at YDC, please go to their aid and please heal this broken heart that was so help me to mend the broken child. Peter E. Gibbs, number 4724. Hello, my name is Peter Gibbs, and I'm a survivor of being repeatedly beaten, tortured, abused, mentally, physically, cruelly, and unusual punishment. I was made to fight my own friend, made to stand in corners of months with a sign on my neck saying, if you talk to me, you will be with me. Sexually assaulted, repeatedly harassed, body shaming, food deprivation, which you heard somebody else say. Years of only some schools, but many years locked into solitary confinement for weeks. Sometimes made to do things no child should ever have to do. I was in Baldwin Cottage, East Cottage, Riverview Cottage, and I believe it's Sanders Cottage and King Cottage. And in every one of them, I was severely abused after being repeatedly in Spalding Cottage. I was never, ever the same. I went on to become so violent, hated anyone who was in authority because of what happened to me in YDC. I was just a child, no longer wished to be John Doe, number 173. I am Peter Elwood Gibbs Jr., a 58-year-old survivor who this Attorney General, John Vermeer, and his boss, Governor Chris Sununu, and others don't ever want us to tell our story of what happened at YDC. But we won't be stopped. Rise up and tell the media. Protest in front of the governor's office. We will not be victims all over again by this governor and the attorney general and his boss. They are trying to throw out our lawsuit at justice. So we must fight back as one. We are the survivors. Our days of being victims is over. Our governor, he knew about YDC, so Chris Sununu knew. So did his dad, John, and along with judges, state agencies, the police department, and yet the YDC candy shop for pedophiles and child abusers stayed open for over 100 years. So many victims of YDC went on to become drug addicts. Dead, suicide, prison, bad people because of what happened to them. So we must fight to get our justice. Please keep fighting for justice. Thank you. Peter E. Gibbs Jr., number 24724.
I'm an entertainer by trade. I couldn't do what she does. I can't. I've been in front of Nashville recording artists and things of that nature. This is my rock right here. I'll tell you that right now, Kathy. For sure. Awesome.
Hey, can we do a little something special? And this is a powerful thing, just to give some love to Peter and the whole family. If we just take that moment of silence and we open up our hearts, just take that moment right now, open up our hearts, okay? And give some love to Peter and the whole entire family and all the victims. Let's open up our heart and expand it with beautiful supreme love, because that reigns supreme over all of this violations of our human rights. Let's open up our hearts for a second and give some love to her and the entire family and all the victims.
Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.